Hi guys, my name is Darryl Addison, the founder of TorpedoPot.com, and you're looking at our self-growing planters. These planters grow your food without you having to be there. So, in this planter right here, I think I've got over tomato plants. I say maybe about 30 tomato plants. And this one we counted about, I have about 70 tomato plants total. Got some weeds in there too, got to pull out. So what we're going to do is that we realize we have an abundance of tomato plants. The most we've grown in a 20-inch planter, this is a 20-inch, and the 16-inch planter is that we've grown a total of about 20 tomato plants in one 16-inch planter, okay? So you're going to walk through all of this with us. We've never grown this much in one planter before. When they start to come out, it's going to be so much growth that we know that this space can't contain it. So we're going to go in right now and we're going to thin out this crop that we have, and they look so good. You know, I'm a firm believer. I always say go for the biggest first, the biggest ones you see, and I might just apply that today, unless they're pretty established. If they're really big and pretty established, I'm not going to do it. So what I'm going to do is that I have two 9-inch torpedo pots here. Now remember, last year, if you look at the website under setup on the tab page, you'll see that we grew two tomato plants out of this one planter. So if I can grow two tomato plants, you know what? You're gonna forgive me. I think I might do 3 or 4. So let's transplant from the larger pot to the smaller pot. So you get what I'm trying to say here. What I'm trying to say is that you can grow 80 plants, germinate 80 plants in that torpedo pot. Look how healthy and strong they are. So you can germinate as much as you want, and then once you're complete, you can just use them all across the whole property. That's the purpose of the torpedo pot. You're getting strong plants in a containerized system. And trust me, from the looks of it, come take a look at this. These guys look so good and so healthy. They look so good and so healthy. So, can you see this?
How many plants is that, Darryl?
We calculated 80 plants out. This last planter, this right here, I didn't do a direct count, but let's do a direct count now. I'm glad you brought that up. And this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're still about 9 and within a quarter area. So I would say 9, 18, it's about 36 plants in this one area right now.
Wow.
And so I'm going to, and not only that, but you have collard greens growing in there with it, and you have celery that's been growing with it. We've already harvested the celery. I forgot how many pounds we got from the celery, but I think it might be, I'm not really sure. But I don't know how many pounds we got from it. But we cut the celery back, and the celery's still taking off and growing, okay? So now I've got to cut my celery back, and I've got to pull out tomatoes so we can put in these small planters. So this looks so healthy. I'm gonna go for this one. I'm gonna see if the root system will allow me to pull it up. Look at that, guys. Look at that. And that's
Show me the roots.
Yeah, look at that. Little baby roots, look at that.
Amazing.
Now, I don't want you to be afraid. Don't get me wrong. You can pull out a root system the wrong way. You can destroy a lot of roots. But I need you to understand why a plant is able to survive after a transfer like this. A plant is able to survive after a transfer like this is because the microbial content in the soil allows the fungus and the bacteria to go to work to support the environment that you're putting that plant in. So this root system may not be very deep because it's getting nutrients at its doorstep 24 hours a day. It doesn't have to search for food. Food is right there. So the root system may be shallower, but guess what? The functioning and the growth of the plant is more robust. It's more healthier with the growth of the plant. So having a sound root system will allow you to reconnect with the soil when you transfer from one planter to another. So the fungi and everything else in that planter is what makes the difference. So look, I'm going to take this and I'm just going to stick it in here. Don't worry about it. It's just a human being. That's cool, that's okay, that's all right. That's okay. That's one plant. Let's try another one. I like these big plants And especially when they grow in clumps with other plants. Number 2, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Place number 2 in the planter. Number 2. Now, the reason why, you're probably wondering, Mr. Addison, why are you placing so many plants in the planter? Well, let me ask you a question. How much soil does it take to grow a plant? Have you ever thought about that? How much soil does it take to grow a plant, right?
1 cup.
So when you look at soil, it consists of a lot of different things, doesn't it? Living, non-living, organic, inorganic. Such an array of materials that are inside your soil that allows your soil to work together to achieve its goals. I forgot where I was going at with that, but it doesn't take, you shouldn't look at it as the amount of soil that it takes to grow a plant, but I want you to look at the healthiness of your soil. See how healthy your soil is. There's no question about it. We don't use any synthetic fertilizers. We use organic, natural, tree park fertilizers. And in those fertilizers, we may use a 4-12-12 organic combination with these plants right here. Why? Most people just feed the plant. They just, hey, listen, I'm going to give nutrition to the plants. I'm going to use a chemical fertilizer to come in. It doesn't interface with the soil at all. It opens up the pores of the root system and it goes into the plant, and you see a green plant and you say, wow, it's green, it's got to be good. But yet, a lot of things you're eating in the supermarket shelves, they're not terribly bad, but they have chemicals in it that we don't know the impact it has on our body. And we link it to obesity and so many other different things. With that being said, eating from a biotic environment that uses the natural environment, a 4-12-12 mixture will help these start to blossom. I'm not worried about the nitrogen. I got so much nitrogen. The planter causes decomposition to happen at a very fast rate. What I'm really worried about is the potassium. So these two I'm going to do an additional set of tomato plants. These are Siberian tomato plants, and I want to show you the new environment when we get it going. Darrell Addison, torpedopot.com.